Hey guys, welcome to the channel and welcome back to another video, a live. Today, guys, on this live, we're going to be talking about the 30 things I would tell my 30-year-old self about money. These are things that I wish I knew about money before I turned 30 years old. Guys, give me a quick mic check. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. That would be great. And also let me know where you're checking in from, guys. What city, what state, what country, what area of the entire world that we live in. But just want to make sure you guys can hear me, guys. I want to talk about these things because these things are kind of important. Now, on this video, it's all about things that we would go back and tell our earlier self about money, right? Some of it is this is going to be sort of harsh advice, but it's what I would tell myself, right? These are things that I wish I knew about money before I was 30 years old. Thank you, GTAO Spotlight. Good to have you, Stanley Jean, if you're in here still. Good to have you here. Hey, how you doing? Toronto, Canada is in the house. Up in Toronto. Atlanta's here. Thanks for being here, Hucklebuck. Glad to have you. Just Blaze from New Orleans is here. And then Pierre is listening in from Jersey. Good to have you. South Carolina's in the house. Hey, London, the UK is here. Good to have you as well. Just curious where you guys are coming from. I'm in the middle of the United States, right? Smack dab in the middle of the Midwest. And it's always good to hear where you guys are coming from. Caribbean or Caribbean. Good to have you guys. Do me a favor. This is the deal with this video. I'm going to be talking about these 30 things that I would tell my 30-year-old self about money. And this is really going to be almost, I don't know, a seminar, to be honest with you. But I want you guys to do me a favor. Some of you that come in here are 20-something or 30-something years old. If that's you, zone into what I'm going to say. Okay, zone into what I'm going to share with you on this video. Now, if you're older than 30 years old, 35, older than 35 or 40 years old, that's cool. You're going to still be blessed by this video. But please do me a favor. This is very, very important. Please share this video, the link to this video, with a younger person or somebody that you know that may be, 20 years old, 19 years old, 25 years old, right? This information is going to really, really help that person. Let me take those off, guys. But if you could do me a favor, if you're over 30 and you say, I'm 50 years old, this doesn't apply to me. Yeah, it really does apply to you, but it probably can apply to somebody that you know. So the best thing you can do is take this link and share it with a young person, because these 30 jewels that I'm about to drop on this video, it can really, really change somebody's life if they took the time out to really focus in on what I'm saying and maybe make some changes based on some of the things I'm going to share with you guys in this video. We got somebody from Bay Area, California, Mola. And then we got somebody from Minneapolis, Shashiko. Kimmy Apple from Texas. Happy New Year from Australia. Good to have you. Geelong, Australia. Good to have you. So share this video. Share this link. Matter of fact, share it right now so they can start to tune in and get this stuff live. Also, when you come in here, guys, please smash the like button for me. This is not going to be a terribly long video. Do me a favor and smash that like button for me. I just want to run through this list of things, guys, because this is going to bless somebody, right? This is going to be very, very helpful for somebody who's maybe doesn't know what to think about money, have maybe thought, hey, I'm about to graduate from college, or I'm 27 years old, or I'm 31 years old. What should I be doing? My journey, just so you guys know, my money journey didn't start until I was 30 years old in the year 2000. That'll tell you how old I am. I was 30 years old in the year 2000, and that's when everything started to change for me in terms of my finances. And so with the things I'm sharing with you are the things that I wish somebody had shared with me before I got to that 30-year-old mark, right? And I'm a little hurting today, guys. I played full court basketball yesterday, like 5 games in a row. And so my body is sore. Basketball is a young man's game. So let's jump into it. Pierre said, I'm 51 and always share your video with my kids. Thank you, Pierre. I appreciate that. So they can learn. 2 sons, 24 and 19. Man, this would be perfect for these guys. If you're 24 or 19, Man, if you dig into these 30 things right here, you could easily be a millionaire by the time you're 40, 15 years, 20 years, whatever it may be, right? So thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate it. Mrs. Moore from ATL, good to have you. We got the famous Buckhead down there in Atlanta, and we got, Stone Mountain and all that good stuff right there by Mrs. Moore. Good to have you in here. So let's do this, guys. Let's jump right into it. These are the 30. Now, I said 30. I really got 32. I think it's 32 things on the list. I'm not sure. That I wish I had known about money when I was 20-something or 30-something for that matter, right? Thanks, Trayon, for stepping in and telling us you're from Illinois. Appreciate you being here. All right, first things first. I'm going to go through this. I won't say fast, but I'm going to go ahead and hit it, right? Number one is this. The number one thing, I say number one, they're not in order, right? They're in no particular order. But the first thing on the list of what I wish I knew about money before I was 30 years old, and you guys could probably vouch for this, and feel free to chime in the chat. I'm always reading the chat as well. No one owes you anything. Number one, no one owes you anything. You don't deserve anything special when it comes to money. Don't just show up and expect money. You have to do the right things and make the right decisions about money to have money, right? Try to make as few mistakes as possible. We're all going to you might make a few mistakes, I understand, but make few mistakes and don't think that somebody's going to owe you anything regarding money. Nothing's going to be handed to you on a silver platter when it comes to money. All right. Some people this is number one, number one. Some people were born with a lot of money and some were not. I happen to fall in the category of a person that was not born with any money. My parents had no money, right? My parents didn't graduate high school. Neither one of them did, right? My mother went back and got a GED and went on and got her associate's degree or her college degree later on. But I didn't come from parents that had money. You may not come from parents that have money. Right? Some people were born, everybody's born on different levels, right? Equality really doesn't exist on the planet, to be honest with you. Equality is impossible in a world where everyone is unique. So I start here. Somebody started poorer than me. Somebody started poorer than them. Somebody started with more money. Everybody starts at different points. No matter where you start, nobody owes you anything. You got to work, get out there and do it. Whether you started with a lot, whether you started with a little, doesn't matter. We're all unique. We all start at different places. Okay. That's the first thing to understand about money. Everybody doesn't start off at the same place when it comes to money. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button and share this video link. Please don't forget, if you're watching this on a replay, drop a comment below. Also, guys, by the way, I always mention my partner on my videos, Mint Mobile. Right? Largest 5G network in the world. They don't have any salespeople. They don't have any box stores. So they pass that savings on to me and you. Right? I partner with them on a lot of my videos. Mint Mobile. That link is in the description box. Also, if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to the channel. Right? And smash the like button as always. And also, I do one-on-ones, guys. You can check out. There's a link for that in the description box as well. Okay, just want to get some of that stuff out the way. Number two, you may not have the same opportunities as everybody else has around you, right? But whatever you do, if you're a young person, you're under 30, don't let your past with money affect your future or dictate your future with money. Just because you might have been born poor does not mean that you are destined to die poor. Being poor is not your destiny. That's not your fate. You are supposed to have something in this world, but you have to go out and get it, right? It's up to you, right? If you want more, you got to do more, right? Don't wait on anyone to give you anything, sort of similar to number one, but don't wait on the government. Don't wait on inflation. Don't wait on any of that. You got to go out and get what you want, right? Because you may not have the same opportunities as other people, but it doesn't matter. You can still go get it. Okay, very important. And these two are probably up front because we're dealing with how you think. And how you think about money is big. That takes me to number three. The third thing I wish I knew about money before I was 30 was that personal responsibility is my superpower. The person in the mirror is the person responsible for what I have as an adult and what I don't have as an adult. Now, in my instance, guys, let me share this with you. I was not responsible for being born poor. I had no say so in that, right? I didn't have any say so. I was the child number 7 of 7. And 2 of them passed away after they were born, 2 twins, but I'm the 5th child living, right? And I wasn't responsible for being the 5th child living. I wasn't responsible for not having money. I wasn't responsible for being born poor. I couldn't do anything about that, right? But listen, I was responsible for being 30 years old and still being broke. I was responsible for being 30 years old and not having any money. I was responsible for being 30 years old with a negative $30,000 net loss to my name. That's what I had. My net worth was negative $30,000 when I was 30 years old. I was responsible for that, right? I had to take the responsibility that got me the power that changed the situation. But if I didn't take responsibility, I would have never had the power to change the situation. So responsibility, personal accountability is your superpower with your money, right? Don't blame other people. Blame has never been a recipe for success, right? Blame is not in the ingredients of the meal called success, right? Everybody, if you're under 30 years old, I wish I had known before to look myself in the mirror and take personal responsibility from where I was with my money. Number 4, you got to take some risk with money. The greater the risk, the greater the reward. You cannot operate with money out of fear. Fear will here's what fear will do. Fear will cause you to invest in bonds that'll bring you 2% return over the next 25 or 30 years. Instead of the stocks that you could have been invested in that have got you an average return of 8%, right? Over the course of 20 or 30 years, that fear of not investing enough money or investing in the wrong things that were risk averse, that fear could cost you $500,000 over the course of 30 years because you were afraid. Now, with that said, don't go overboard. I mean, you got to weigh your risk. You want to know what you can risk and what's tolerable to you and what's not. But you cannot operate with money out of fear. Don't be scared when it comes to things like investing your money, right? Invest your money. It's okay. It's not going to hurt you, right? Invest what you can afford to lose. But we'll talk about stretching that a little bit. Number 5 is this. You got to sacrifice. To have more later, you got to sacrifice today. You cannot have it all in the world of money, right? Everybody won't be Bill Gates. Everybody won't be Elon Musk. You cannot have it all in the world of money. I'm not here to sell you a dream, a pipe dream. I'm here to tell you realistically about money. No pie in the sky. This is real talk about money. Real talk about money. That sounds like a good name for the show. But the point is you have to give up something, whether it's time, whether it's energy, whether it's money, whatever. You have to sacrifice some things if you want to get to another level with your money at the age of 24, 25, 28, 33, right? Number 6, get whatever education you need out the way. Trade school, certification, skills, right? Get those things out the way as early as possible, right? The one thing that's going to keep you broke all of your life, and I mean literally all of your life, well, the one thing that's going to guarantee that you're going to be broke, almost guarantee that you're going to be broke, right, is lacking higher paying skills. If you want to be poor when you're 50, then keep having low paying skills. I'm explaining to you with number 6 here, get the higher paying skills early. The earlier you get them, the more that you can raise your chances of making more money sooner, right? So when I say skills, I mean whatever it could be. Maybe you want to be an engineer. Maybe you want to be something that is going to pay you higher money or something, whatever. It could be anything. Doctor, lawyer, I don't care. It could be whatever. But try to get that skill as soon as you can, as early as you can, right? Spend the time when you're young getting the skills so that you don't have to be 50 years old trying to go back to school, right? Decide early what those skills are for you, right? And when I say higher paying skills, I'm not saying you got to be a brain surgeon. I'm saying if you want to be a plumber, the average plumber makes about $65,000 a year in America. That's the average. The above average plumber makes more than that. The above average plumber is going to make $90,000 or $100,000 a year in America. That's a nice high paying skill, right? The high paying skill doesn't have to be 4 years of college, 6 years of master's degree, 8 years PhD. It can be, doesn't have to be, right? But whatever that skill is, get it as early as you can because that's going to increase your income, right? Decide on that early and get that higher paying skill as soon as possible. The reason you see somebody 50 years old working at McDonald's or 40 years old, typically, not always, or 40 years old making $10 an hour, the reason is because they don't have the higher paying skill. It's not rocket science, right? It's not complicated. Number 7, live as far below your means as possible. Okay. Frugality is okay. Don't worry about what you think you're supposed to have and all that. Stay frugal. The more frugal you are and be comfortable with being frugal. This is what I wish I knew before I was 30 years old. Be comfortable being frugal, right? Be comfortable not relying on money for your happiness. Very important. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Don't compare your life to the lives of people on social media, right? The people on social media, when you scroll through the timeline on Instagram or Facebook or wherever, when you scroll through the timeline, that's the highlight. That's the ESPN highlights of everybody's life. That's not a litmus test of happy. Don't rely on money for happiness. Live frugal and be comfortable being frugal. Number 8, I told you I got 30 of these. Number 8. When you see most people, this is what I would tell myself. When you see most people going left with your money, typically you probably want to strongly consider going right. When you see everybody going this way and doing this, you got to sit and think for a second, and you might want to go right. Because most people in America don't manage their money as well as they should manage their money. Don't take care of their money as well as they should take care of their money. Don't spend as intentionally as they probably should with their money. And they're going left. When you see that, don't go left with them. Go right with your money. Okay? Number 9, the 9th thing I wish I knew about money before I was 30 years old is learn as much as I can about money as early as I can. Read more about money. Read a book a month about money is what I'd probably tell myself, right? About personal investing, personal finances, or investing, right? Or an area, hey, it could be an area of money that you enjoy that interests you, right? If you want to be good with money, you got to think right with money, because how you think with money is going to dictate your behaviors with money, and your behaviors with money is going to control your outcomes with money, right? So take your learning about money serious enough to read a book. And if you don't like reading, listen to it on audio, whatever it takes, right? Because you want to be focused on your money, focused on your learning about money and how it works. But here's the kicker, and this still goes into this number 7 I think I'm on. No, number 9. Here's the kicker. Don't worship money, right? Manage it, invest it, grow it, but don't worship money. That's different. Being intentional and focused on money is not the same as worshiping money, because when you worship money, you do anything to get it. And when you do anything to get money, you'll lose yourself in trying to get money, trying to chase money. You don't want to chase money. Okay? Very important. Don't put money on too high of a pedestal. So you want to be out there learning as much as you can, but never get to the point where you're worshiping money. Excuse me. Number 10 is this. Always look at money as something to exchange for an appreciating asset, as opposed to just something to pay your bills with, right? Money is not just to pay bills with, right? Money goes down in value. This is very important. I really didn't get this until later in life. Hopefully somebody young can get this early. Money goes down in value every moment. Inflation is eating away at money. And if inflation is eating away at money and money is going down in value, you need to take that money going down in value as soon as you can and exchange it for something that's appreciating and going up in value. This is why you take money and you go buy a house. You take money and you put it in the stock market because you don't want your money to keep going down and down and down. You hurry up and put it in something that's going up in value, right? That's the exchange that you want to make with money, right? That's how you grow money. You don't just take it and pay your light bill, pay your water bill, and then go buy some clothes and then pay on a car payment. And now all your money that's going down in value has been spent on everything else that's going down in value. So you're going to be a loser in 5 years, in 10 years, right? The only way to turn that around and be a winner in 10 years is that you take the money that's going down in value and you buy stuff that goes up in value. Then in 10 years, you took $2,000. In 10 years, you got $5,000. What most people do is take $2,000 in 10 years. They take that $2,000 in 10 years. They got $300 because they look around the house and they bought all this stuff that went down in value, including the car that's outside. They took their money, right, and exchange it for depreciating things. I'm telling you, what I wish I knew when I was 30 years old was to take my money and exchange it for appreciating things, right? That one concept, if you just get that one concept alone, it can make you a millionaire in 15 years. Just that one concept, right? And you apply it, right? Number 11, money has power, but money has limitations. Again, money will not make you happy. Money is not the most important thing. And that may sound weird coming from a guy that calls himself Smart Money Bro. Well, this is what's smart about money, bro, is that money is amoral. It can be used for good. It can be used for bad. But what happens is people think money is the cure-all. It's not the cure-all to life, right? Money is powerful, but money has limitations. And your job, if you want to be good and smart with money, is to make sure you keep money in its proper place, in its proper perspective. The problem in America and all over the world is that people put money way up here. And guess what happens when you put money way up here? Money becomes your God. You'll do anything to get money. You'll do anything to chase money. You'll do anything to have more money. You'll sell your soul. You'll sell your whatever just to get money. That's the wrong outlook on money. That's the wrong perspective of money. Money is not that important. It has power, but it has limitations. Should not make you happy, right? Number 12, these are just really good life lessons for managing money and for looking at money while you're young, while you're 25, 20, 30 years old, right? Number 12, the people that have the most money are not all bad and automatically lower on the moral scale, so to speak, right? Because they have some money. Just because someone has a lot of money does not mean they exploited somebody to get it. And the people who have no money are not somehow higher on the moral, the moral pendulum. They're not more righteous because they don't have any money, and they don't have more integrity because they don't have any money than the people that actually have the money, right? We need to kind of shift our minds, some of us. Now, this is how I grew up. I grew up in a poor situation, and this is what we thought, right? This is what I thought, and a lot of people I know thought. People with money are bad. That's not true. Don't believe that if you're trying to have money. There are good and bad people who have money, and there are good and bad people that have no money, right? Money is amoral. Money is not evil. If that's a narrative that's going around in your brain, toss it out. Get rid of it, right? If you came from a more impoverished situation as a young person growing up, you might believe that. But that's false. There's good and bad in people, whether you have money or they don't have money, right? Money is not some moral compass, right? Guys, don't forget, smash the like button, share the video link, drop a comment below, right? Check out the free stuff I have in the description box below. 24 Laws of Money is a free ebook that's in the description box. Okay. And also, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I appreciate it. Right. Number 13, track. If this is what I would tell myself. And I started doing this, right? So these are things that I've started doing after I was 30 years old to help me build wealth. Number 13 is track your net worth 2 to 3 times a year on paper, on a spreadsheet, right? The focus and intentionality you put on your net worth will pay off ultimately down the road. As you focus on what are my assets and you focus on what are my liabilities. Man, I got to get those liabilities down. Man, I'm getting those assets up. Oh, this is great. When you start doing that over the course of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, it makes a difference. It changes what's on that piece of paper, what's on that spreadsheet, when you focus on it, right? Very important to do. There's people, I read a study that said, I think 60 to 70% of Americans don't have no clue what their net worth is. Well, how do you expect to grow something and you don't even know what it is? How do you expect to build something and you don't even know the materials that you're building with, right? If I go build a building, I'm going to lay out these plans in a blueprint. I'm going to have my architect come in and we're going to lay out the plans in a blueprint. We're going to look at them. We're going to study them, analyze them, see what we can do, can't do, go measure, etc. We're doing all this stuff first on paper. And then we're going to figure out what are our building materials that we're going to use to build the building, right? When you're trying to gain wealth as a 25 or 30-year-old person, you're building a building. You got to have a strong foundation and you got to know what materials are at your disposal to build this building called wealth, right? Tracking your net worth is a very important piece. That's a very important piece of material to build your building called wealth, right? And if you don't do that, you have no clue where you are, right? It's hard to start taking steps when you don't even know where you're standing. The focus and intentionality of doing your net worth statement 1 or 2 or 3 times a year or even more will pay off down the road. Number 14, since we're on that same vein, number 14, I'm skipping around. Number 14 is do a monthly budget and become fanatical about your budget. Income and expenses. Again, you need to know what you bring in. You need to know exactly what you send out. Track it. You got to be focused on it. You can't fix an issue with money until you face the issue with money, right? For some people at 25 and 30 years old, because I've talked to a lot of them, they don't know where their money's going, right? Therefore, if you don't track it, you can't fix it. Got to have a monthly budget every single month. I've done 335 budgets in a row, monthly budgets in a row since 1994. Maybe it was a little less than that, a little more. Every single month. And I was doing budgets when I didn't have any money. But over the course of time, that habit of tracking my money, understanding where it's going, understand what did I pay on rent or mortgage last year? What did I pay on utilities last year? What did I pay on food last year? Helps. Excuse me. Now, number 15, I'm running right along, guys. 15. Speaking of income, speaking of your budget and your net worth statement, run your household when you're 24, 25, 28. Run it like a business. Your net worth statement is your balance sheet. Just like a business has a balance sheet that shows their assets and their liabilities. Your net worth statement shows your assets and shows your liabilities. Run your house like a business. Your budget is your monthly income statement. That's your profit and loss statement, right? It shows your expenses and your income, just like a business, right? And the goal, what is the goal? The goal, what is a business? The business goal, every business in the world has a goal of making profit, right? Your profit in your household is your discretionary income, the income that's left over every month that you can use to invest, pay off debt, build an emergency fund. That's your profit, right? Just like a business takes its profit and usually pours it back into the business, you take your profit and pour it back into your household, making sure that your debt's paid off, your emergency funds built up, you're investing plenty of money. That's you using your profit to build up your business called you, your 4 walls, right? Look at money like this. This is what I wish somebody had told me, or I wish I knew about money before I was 30 years old, right? So your discretionary income, your profit, you should be using that to invest in assets, right? Remember I said, grow your assets, right? The asset side of your balance sheet. Your household is your first business, right? Don't be out there starting another business, trying to get some more income, starting a side hustle, trying to get a business off the ground, and you're not even taking care of your own first business, your own house. Take care of your four walls before you go out trying to start another business, right? Everybody's if you pay rent and you live in a household, you are a business, right? Management of that business is the key to having more money. Management of that business is the key. Now, number 16, if you want to fully participate in capitalism, this is what I wish somebody had told me, you have to get some capital, right? This is another reason you want to focus on building your assets. By the time you're 30 or 40, your biggest asset should not be a car, right? Your biggest asset that's going down in value, right? You want to have your biggest assets should be something that's growing, whether that's your stock portfolio, your indexes, your ETFs, your real estate, your house, whatever it may be. If you want to properly participate in capitalism, which all of us live in, most of us live in, you got to have some capital to practice capitalism. Otherwise, you're just a pawn being used by capitalism. And you don't want to be used by capitalism. You want to use capitalism to better yourself, right? Speaking of capital, number 17, buy a home. This is what I wish somebody had told me at 25, 22. Buy a home or an investment property that's income producing. I really believe that in this American culture, guys, this is my opinion, my opinion. In this culture that we live in America, I think at some point down the road, they're going to try to slow down individuals' ability to actually buy property, buy homes. So my thing is buy assets while you can. Who knows what's going to happen in 20 years when the state or the government is going to own mostly everything? Who knows? Could be 20 years, could be 10 years, could be 50 years. Doesn't matter. Get an asset, right? And a home is an asset, in my opinion. I know you hear all these people on the internet, a home is not an asset because it takes money out of your pocket. Yeah, but it's growing in appreciation, and guess what? I can sell it if I have to for $300,000. Sounds like an asset to me, right? If I hadn't known, I bought my first piece of property when I was 30, almost 31. I bought 2 properties. Now, if I had known better, I would have bought those properties back in my 20s, right? And here's the other thing about a home. If you decide to pay off your home early or put it on a 15-year mortgage, I'm okay with that. Some people aren't okay with that. I'm okay with that. Just understand that you have options and you can choose, right? Right? But you want to have some real estate so you can have eggs in more than one basket as a person that wants to grow wealth. In 2022, guys, the stock market was down, 18%, right? But in 2022, my real estate was up, at least that amount, right? So I increased my net worth in the year of 2022, even though the stock market went way down, because I had my eggs in several baskets, right? You need to diversify your assets. That's one other reason you want to buy a home. So everything's not just wrapped up in the stock market. You actually have something that's tangible that other people may want to live in and have a roof over their head, right? That's another reason to buy a piece of property. That's my opinion. Number 18, remember, money is a tool. Use it as such, and money is only one tool. There's other tools in the toolbox for building wealth. People, your network of people, is a tool in those relationships, right? Time is a big tool, right? Time is a big tool. Your dreams, your goals, your monthly budget, your job, your ability to be patient and stay disciplined. All those are tools. Money is only one of them. Proper use of all those tools is what's going to help you build some wealth. So guys, I'm on to number 19 and I got 30 of them, but I'm just going to read back through the chat here. Hattiesburg, Mississippi's in the house. Bobby, Chicago, good to have you. Yes, please smash the like button for me, guys. This is the information that needs to get out to more and more people about money. More and more young people need to hear this message about money, not what they get on IG. I see some stuff on Instagram and I'm like, what? Why would they ever tell people to go out and do that? You shouldn't do that. Nah, I'm skeptical a lot of the stuff I see. This is a real message for real people that's 25, 30, 35. And if you're over 35, if you're 45, 50, 55 years old, please share this with a young person you know. a child, a grandchild, maybe a young son or daughter, whatever, somebody in their 20s, maybe on your network somewhere, right? Put the link on there so some young folks can get it. Because I get a little fed up with the pie in the sky stuff I see that's telling young people to do things that are borderline unethical to make more money, flat out, right? And some of the scammers that I see that prey on people who are not only young but old, who are looking to make money, preying on people so they can line their own pockets with money. I don't like that. Okay, as I say on this channel all the time, I don't have a course to sell you. I have a free YouTube video for you to take a look at. A free YouTube video for you to watch and pass along. That's it. I don't have a $2,000 course. I don't have $100,000 spend the weekend with me and fly on my jet. None of that stuff. I don't do that. I'm just here to give information. And if you want to do a one-on-one with me, there's a link down there. You can do that, right? I have to charge for my time, but I'm trying to give information, guys, right? I have to work early so I can get off work and come here and give information to help you guys out, right? Number 19, invest as much money as possible as early as possible. In other words, this was my big mistake, right? Full disclosure. This was my transparency. Full disclosure. I made the biggest mistake, one of the biggest mistakes I've made with money when I was 32 years old. And I did not max out my job's 401k, my job's thrift savings plan. I didn't max it out. I should have. If I had maxed it out, I have about 3 times more money invested than I have right now. Literally 3 times more money if I had maxed it out. If you can max out the money that you put towards your job's 401k, or put as much as you can in terms of your investing, right? Try not to spend. This is what I wish somebody had told me. Don't spend 10 to 15 to 20 years putting in 3% of your money towards your retirement. Don't do that. You're going to regret it 20 years down the road. I bet if you ask most people in this chat who's over the age of 50, what's one thing they would change? Most of us would say we'd go back and put more money into the stock market than we did, right? We only put in 4%, 2%, 1%. We didn't put anything for 10 years. We sat out, and then we put in 5%. No, if we all could do it, most of us would go back and put 15 to 20% in there and just sacrifice whatever we had to sacrifice back then. If you only put 3% in, you're going to regret it down the road. Whatever that means. If it means taking one less vacation a year, take one less vacation, please, and drop that $500, whatever, $1,000 extra dollars. $2,000 extra, whatever it takes. Right? Number 20 is this, what I would wish I knew. Get out of bad debt as soon as possible. Don't let debt hang around you. I did a video on this channel, guys, about, 6 months ago or so, that despite being a millionaire, after age 50, I still kept a student loan around until just last year, right? Didn't have to, didn't want to, probably shouldn't have, but I did, right? I kept the student loan around for 30 years. I did a video on this channel about it. You can check it out, right? But don't do that. That's a mistake. Get rid of your bad debt as soon as possible. Bad debt meaning debt that's going down in value, right? Thankfully, I haven't had a car payment since about 2011, which that's good, right? I didn't buy any more cars. But the point is that you want to get out of the habit of keeping around bad debt, right? Debt that's pulling from you, that you're making payments on and you're paying interest on and it's going down in value. You don't want to do that, right? Number 21, stop trying to get rich quick. 30 things number 21 that I wish I knew about money before I was 30 years old. You want to build wealth, not get rich quick. Trying to chase fast money is why a lot of people get scammed. Right? We talked about scammers a second ago. Scammers are successful at scamming because regular people are looking for fast money. If less regular people were looking for fast money, scammers would have a much harder time. Don't look for fast money, right? Wealth takes time to build over time. It takes consistency and discipline and focus and patience. You won't get rich in 5 years. 99% of us won't get rich in 5 years. But by the 10th and 15th year, you will have developed the habits of wealth. and you will have grown into the person that can handle the wealth, right? But it's a process. By year 15 or 20 is when you start to really see the fruits of your labor come to fruition, right? The root word of fruition is fruits, right? So you'll see the fruits of your labor coming to fruition in 15, 20 years, 10, 15, 20 years, right? It's all about consistent focus and intentionality over a long stretch of time. That's building wealth, okay? That's building wealth. You got to build it. And you got to build it, watch this, you got to build it on a strong foundation. You cannot go out and get more money and put more money on top of a weak foundation with money, right? If you don't understand how to handle money, how to manage money, and you got, your emergency fund taken care of, and then you go out and add money, you're adding money onto a weak foundation that hasn't had no time to build up. This is why you see people who win the lottery, yeah, right? They're kind of poor or middle class, and they win the lottery and they lose it all in 10 years, 5 years, because they just added money to a weak foundation. You have to build the strong foundation. These 30 things I'm giving you in this video is the strong foundation. And if you build the strong foundation, then, which takes some time, you don't come out at the age of 21 with a strong foundation. Sure, there's some among us, there's a tiny 0.05% among us who will be rich at the age of 21, 25, who will get rich quick. It happens. But for the most part, most of us, 99% of us, we have to build the wealth, right? And in the process of building the wealth, we build a strong foundation. And that strong foundation is the foundation that can handle going out to get more money, can handle the pay raises, can handle the big, large bonuses, can handle the side gig that all of a sudden now is making $100,000 a year because you put in all that work before, right? That's what you got to do to build wealth. But you got to build it. Stop trying to get rich quick because you leave yourself vulnerable to a scam. Seminole, thanks so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Seminole said, it ain't much, but I got to give something to show appreciation for the sacrifice you make and the service you provide. Many blessings to you, Smart Money Bro, and hopefully this year I can have a call with you regarding cash. Looking forward to it, Seminole. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the well wishes as well. Back at you for sure. So now let's talk about let me just say this. Since I'm talking about this whole thing about stop trying to chase money and get rich quick, I better say this. If you start that business and you want to have a side hustle, side business, I'm cool with that, right? You want to do that as a young person. Nothing wrong with that. But when you do that, your why has to be bigger than just money. In other words, why you want to do something has to be bigger than just I want to make more money. Don't get caught into thinking I just want to have a YouTube channel to make a bunch of money. No, don't do it. Here's why. If your why is just money, then you'll quit long before the money ever starts coming. You'll give up before the money shows up. And if you give up before the money shows up, you just wasted a whole bunch of time. The point is, don't chase the money. Have a why that's bigger than the money. The why could be you want to help people. The why could be you want to solve this particular problem that people have. The why could be, there's a need for this and you want to fulfill that need for people. The why cannot be just the money, because if the why is just the money, then guess what you're doing? You're chasing money. You're back to chasing the money, right? So you don't want to do things just for money, right? So I just really want to get that out the way, guys. I thought that was important. Money isn't, we talked about getting out of debt. We talked about stop trying to get rich quick and scammers and all that good stuff, but your why's got to be bigger. Number 22 is this. Along the way with your money, when you're 20 years old, when you're 25 years old, when you're 35 years old, be sure to help other people with your money along the way. Don't just store up all your money for you and it's all about you, and I'm not going to help anybody else. No, don't do that. Even when you don't have a lot of money to give, still give. Even when you don't have a lot of extra money to hand out to other people, still help other people with your money. It's a principle. Matter of fact, All of these I'm talking about is a principle, but giving is a very important principle, right? Help other, I don't care if it's tithes, if it's giving, if it's helping families, if it's helping somebody that may be struggling, if it's adopting a family to help them out who's struggling, single mom, I don't care, whatever, whoever you give to other people. Make it a habit, make it a part of your principles, make it a part of your money philosophy to help other people with your money, right? There's more. Here's another principle. There's more than enough abundance out in this world for all of us. We don't have to hate on each other. I don't have to, just because I'm getting more money don't mean you're losing money. And just because you're losing money don't mean I'm getting more money. Just because I look like I'm doing well don't mean I have more than you, right? It doesn't, there's plenty for all of us. If you live your life like that, that's a life of abundance. Trust me, your cup will run over, right? But when you get stingy and everything is mine, give me this, give me that, I'm not giving to nobody, I can barely do, closed fists, right? Can't get anything inside of it and given to you because your fist is closed. My thing is help as many people as possible, even if all you got is $5 of help. It's okay, right? Help, right? Don't try to discern a whole bunch and don't try to figure out, don't try to put other people down. Help other people with your money. Get in that habit. You'll be surprised at how much comes back to you when you start giving things out and you start helping and giving other people, right? Maybe you got $5 and 30 minutes. Maybe you got $50 and 2 hours. Spend that $50 and go do your 2 hours to help somebody else out with your time, with your energy, right? But do that on a regular basis. Make it a habit with your money every time you get paid. And I know some people say, I don't have much. Everybody got $10. Most people got $10, right? Most people got a few dollars. Try to give it. You'll be surprised. Number 23, more practical. 23, more practical. Learn how to cook. Learn how to cook, right? Really practical. Learn how to cook or grow some food. Learn how to supply yourself with the daily need of food, or at least to take some food and cook it. If you're 35 years old and you don't know how to cook, start practicing. Cooking is a learned behavior. It's something you can learn to do, right? I don't care if you even follow the directions. You can get any recipe in the world on that phone you got. Use that phone to get you a recipe. Go get your ingredient. Learn how to cook. Save yourself $1,000 a year, $2,000 a year by learning how to cook, right? Very practical. Nothing fancy about that. Maybe you weren't taught to cook. That's cool. But listen, you're going to spend more money trying to go out to a restaurant, 3, 4, 5 days a week than if you just went to the store, bought some food, brought it home, start cooking some meals that will last you 2 or 3 days. Then when those 2 or 3 days are up, you cook another meal. It's going to last you 2 or 3 days. You got 2 meals and you spent 6 days. And then if you want to go out and grab you a burger or something on one day, that's cool. But learn how to cook. Stop spending all your money with DoorDash. People dropping off food at your front door and you're paying $25 for a $15 sandwich. Matter of fact, $25 for a $5 sandwich that you could have made if you had gone and got the ingredients and put it together yourself, right? Guys, smash the like button. Share the video link. Drop a comment below, right? Please consider subscribing. Check out the one-on-one stuff and the Mint Mobile link that I agree with and I love. Check that out in the description box. Number 24, please get life insurance at a young age. Please try to get some health insurance at a young age. Please maintain proper car insurance at a young age, right? Take care of those precautionary things at a young age, right? And by the way, since we're talking about health insurance and all that, take good care of your health. Let's keep this in number 24. Take care of your health at a young age. Start the habit of moving more, eating less, right now, so that it's a part of you as you get older. It becomes a piece of your lifestyle. You have one body. This is a money message because you have one body. Manage it well, okay? When you're in poor health, it's going to cost you more. It's going to cost you more. First of all, it's going to cost you maybe years off your life of being able to enjoy your money. And it's also going to cost you more in medical bills when you have diabetes or when you have things that take place. If you can help it, Every ailment can't be helped. I totally understand that. But there's a lot of ailments that can be helped and prevented by how you take care of your health at a young age and make it a excuse me. You don't have to start at 40 to get in good shape. You don't have to start at 50. Start at 25, right? Being conscious of how you eat, conscious of how often you move your body and exercise and walk. You ain't got to be fancy. You don't have to go in the gym. You don't have to look all big and swollen, but just do move, right? Number 25. I told you that was very practical. Try to buy all your cars cash. Number 25. Why? Because cars are a depreciating asset. They go down in value for the most part. You want to avoid making payments and paying interest on things that are going down in value, right? Speaking of going down in value, if you have a credit card, this is what I wish I knew about money before. I kind of got the credit card piece, but if you have a credit card, you don't listen. Use your credit card sparingly. Always pay it off immediately. That's my suggestion on credit cards. Use your credit card sparingly and pay off your credit card immediately. Now, if you follow this channel, you understand I'm not a big credit card person. I built my wealth without credit cards. Did I use credit to buy things that were going up in value? Absolutely. I own rental houses. So I used my credit to buy those things that are going up in value. But I don't use a credit card. I don't own a credit card. I haven't used or owned a credit card since about 2011, 2012, right? Haven't used it. Haven't needed it. I've lived life without a credit card. So I don't go too much into detail on it on this channel, but it's something to think about. If you're a young person nowadays and you're trying to get some credit, it's okay to have a credit card. Just be responsible with it, right? I'm not the person that tells you never use a credit card in your life. I'm the person that tells you if you're going to use one, only have about one of them, use it sparingly, and always pay it off immediately, right? Number 26, don't borrow money from your 401k or your investments if you can, okay? Don't borrow the money if you can. Leave it. Let it be pat. Get your emergency fund. Save up your emergency fund so you don't have to be in a rush to borrow money. If you have an emergency fund and you're 30 years old of 6 months, you're straight. You're good. You shouldn't be touching your 401k. You shouldn't be touching your investments. You got to let those things grow. And when they pay you dividends, my suggestion is to reinvest those dividends, right? Drips are good. Get to know what a drip is, right? Reinvest your dividends over the course of 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Reinvested dividends can compound your money like you wouldn't believe, right? And sometimes it's better to let it, most times it's better to let it compound than to take that $30, $40, $50 of dividend payment, $200, $300 of dividend payment. To me, it's better to reinvest it, okay? That's number 26, but don't borrow from your 401k. Whatever you have at your job, just don't touch it. The way you don't touch it is you have an emergency fund, right? Your emergency fund is what you touch if you got to get to $20,000 or you got to get to $10,000 or $3,000 or you got your tires went out, your dryer went out, your stove went out, whatever it may be, you go to your emergency fund. You don't touch your 401k. Number 27, guys. And I know I'm rushing through these guys, but I'm trying to get as much as possible in as short a time as possible and already longer than what I want it to be, right? But that's okay because I really want to get these out. Number 27, keep money simple as you grow. If you don't fully understand something, don't entertain it. Money does not have to be complex, complicated, or hard to understand. Money is truly simple. And you can be a millionaire by keeping money very, very simple. It doesn't have to be complex. So when you run into these things where somebody says, hey, here's a whole life insurance policy that you can do this from and do that from, but here you got to read the fine print, and ultimately you don't understand it, don't invest in it. You don't need it. You only need to be worried about things that you understand. Money is simple. Okay? This is what I wish somebody had told me. Number 28, be sure and try your best to take money advice from people who have money. Don't take money advice from people who look like they have money or talk like they have money, or when they come on and they get in front of the microphone, they make you feel good and forget about all that. You want to make sure you're taking money advice from people who have money and who have built money, not from people who look like they got a whole bunch of money or they talking like they have a whole bunch of money. That's a problem, right? it's a lot of good talkers out here who will rope you in because they're so personable, and it feels like you're almost talking right to them when they're doing their interview, right? And they're very down to earth. They make you feel like, I can really relate to that person. Listen, I don't care if you can relate to them. Don't follow them. Don't take money advice from broke people or people who look like you're not quite no, right? Take money advice from people who actually have money. And it's hard to figure out sometimes online. I get it. The people that have money and who don't have money. It's hard to figure that out. Number 29, again, I'll repeat this. Always have an emergency fund. If you're 23, 24, 22, 21, and you're watching this, 25 years old, don't do anything else until you build up your emergency fund. Stop investing half your money in crypto and Bitcoin until you and not have any emergency fund, right? Have an emergency fund. Don't put $30,000 into the stock market and you don't have $10,000 that'll help you in case something goes wrong. Have an emergency fund first. That's your base, right? That's your foundation. Because the last thing you want to do is have $30,000 sitting in an ETF, but then you got to go to the payday loan place at the strip mall to get $1,000 because you had two tires that went out for some reason and you didn't have the money, but you got $30,000 sitting over in some fund somewhere, some Ethereum, right? Have an emergency fund first, period. That's part of your foundation when you're trying to build wealth. Number 30. Pay your bills on time always. Your credit will be fine. You want to check your credit periodically here and there, but just pay your bills on time. You don't want to pay late fees. And speaking of that, you don't want to pay for subscriptions you don't use. Get rid of the subscriptions you don't use today. Get rid of them. If you don't need it anymore, get rid of them, right? If you don't need to have that LinkedIn premium, don't get it. If you don't listen to the Spotify anymore and you listen to Pandora, get rid of Spotify. Stop paying for that. Okay? Number 31, stay humble. Be grateful. Take good care of what you already have, right? This is what I wish I knew about money before I was 30. Take good care of what you have with already. Okay? That's key. Manage what you got. But also in the meantime, be grateful for what you have and stay humble. When you start winning with money, when you're 30, 35 years old, 40 years old, and you're winning with money, you're going to have haters coming out of the woodworks, right? Could be family members, could be friends. Your family members may be very supportive, but then you might have a friend or two or people around you that don't like you all of a sudden for no reason. They're acting funny towards you. They may not say it, but they may be thinking it. They may be acting like it. Understand that you did nothing wrong. When you want to do something better, people will hate on you. Situations will arise where you have to make a decision. Do I want to hang with them or do I want to not hang with them? Do I want to do this? You have to help those who you can and ignore the people that may not like you just because you're doing something different with your money or you're growing in a different direction with your money. There's a lot of people hurting in this world. This is what I've learned in the last 10 years. There's a lot of people that are hurting in this world, and it makes them feel better when they make other people hurt, right? And so when you move to another level with your money, there's going to be people that show up, right? But just stay humble, right? And stay grateful for what you have and what you're trying to do and trying to build, right? Number 32. I said I had 32 of these. I said 30, but I really got 32. Number 32 is this. Be sure that wherever you go before the age of 30 and even 35, 40 years old, 25 years old, make sure you add value wherever you go. If you add value, income will follow. If you add a tremendous amount of value to people's lives, somehow, some way, income will follow, okay? Income will chase your value. As opposed to you chasing the money, just become really, really valuable in various aspects of your life. I don't care if you're a valuable son or if you're a valuable uncle or you're a valuable aunt or you're a valuable mother, grandmother, or you're a very valuable person on the job. People who are valuable, they don't starve. People who make themselves very valuable, they don't go without, right? In fact, they get chosen to help. They get chosen to come along. They get chosen to stay on the job. They get chosen because we want to pay you because you add value. Adding value wherever you go is going to increase your income, and it's going to ensure that you never go hungry. That's what I wish I knew about money before the age of 30. Right? That's what I wish I knew. That's what I wish I knew. Goodness, let me look back at the chat, guys. And I hope I was able to at least in these 30 things offer you guys and share with you guys some knowledge, something that was able to possibly help a young person. Now, if that young person is you, I hope I helped you. But if you're 50 and 60 and you understand the principles, because many of you in this chat, I got really smart people in this chat. Many of you understand these principles that I just talked about. If you understand them, pass this information along by sharing the link to this video with a person, a young person. Doesn't have to be super young. Maybe you're 40 and you got a friend that's 40, or you got a friend that's 35, or you're 55 and you know somebody 50. Pass this information along, because this information is really, you're never too old for this basic common sense information about money, right? But if you are older, I appreciate you being here and listening, guys. And I appreciate it. Let me just run through the chat real quick, guys. Exactly. Good luck. Thank you. Somebody said good luck. Let's see here. It blows my mind how people overspend on food. Yes, they do. Real talk. Yes, this is a real talk about money. Nothing fancy. People get into this lifestyle creep where they make more money. They got to spend more money. You need to get away from that too. That's a problem. Can I please do a video on Bitcoin ETFs? I understand. I'll do a little more reading about them. I understand they're coming or here. So we'll talk about that. I almost did today's live about the job rate and the what's going on in terms of the inflation, that really the numbers came out this morning. But I said let's go a little different direction. I want to talk to young people today, so I figured I'd do this one. So we'll see about Bitcoin ETFs. Save for emergency fund plus money for deductibles, emergency fund, and some margin, says Steve. Yep. Late fees and overdraft fees will eat your money up fast. Absolutely, Steve, and I agree. Would I save more borrowing from a 401k to buy a car and pay myself back the interest? No, just buy the car cash. That's what I would say, growing with Hudson. Save up $5,000, $10,000, buy you a car to get you from A to B fast if you can. Let's see here. All right, so here's the deal, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm a little longer than I wanted to be, but that's okay. I appreciate you guys more than you know for being here. Thank you so much. Please take advantage of the free stuff that's in the description box. And again, share this video. Be sure you don't leave this video without hitting the like button. Okay, smash the like button for me. Really helps the channel, and it helps this video get out to more and more people the more you share it and the more you hit that like button. Those things really, really help. So please do those things for me, guys. I appreciate it. And also, hey, I have a video that just came out today. Check that video out. I think it'll be pretty interesting. It's a short version, like a 10-minute video, something like that, guys. Check that out as well. And we always come on here with this real talk about money, or an issue or an area of money. We come on here and we talk about it at least Thursdays and Saturdays. So Thursdays, 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and Saturdays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Thank you all for your support. Please, please don't forget to hit the like button and share the video. Hey, the best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you. Guys, do me a favor. Take good care of yourself, and also take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.